Um, just going out there and competing and not, you kind of have that, back against the wall, so you just go out there and give it all you have. And I feel like that's what these guys, including myself, will do and continue to do that over the course of the next month and a half.
Appreciate it.
And so I think a guy is highly capable of going from a special teams situation to a head coach, as well as you just have a natural understanding that offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and special teams coordinators can all have different roles all on top. I think you're going to have to take that up with Greg. I think he can speak for himself on it.
I feel like you've been around, you've seen in the past teams that have a coaching change midseason often are their most dangerous that next game out. Why do you think that is?
That's a great question. I don't necessarily know.
Look last year, you guys turned around.
Yeah, I don't know. I think certainly there's always, you hate to say it, but I think there's always a natural sense of urgency when there's a coaching change because things have gotten so bad when the head coaches let go. And so there's always going to be a natural sense of urgency, whether that creates winning on the field. I know that's happened a lot. I also know sometimes it hasn't happened. So I think a lot has to do with the guys in the room, any potential changes that are made. Certainly last year, what Coach Wilkes did was fantastic. We played really well. It was a very organized and unified group, and the results showed on the field. I've been a part of it before, and it didn't go that way. So I think it's unique to each team and each group of guys and each interim head coach. And certainly, I'm very excited for Coach Tabor to be leading the charge. I hate the circumstances under which it happened, but I'm excited to see what he does. And he's been the same guy for 24 hours of us doing this, and that's certainly encouraging because I think a team will naturally take on the temperament of its head coach.
You sort of alluded to it, but who have been through it a bunch of times, especially last year, does that at least help the it's a horrible phrasing of how it.
No, I understand.
Help the transition, knowing that this has been done before, we got through it, and we know how to get through it.
I think the encouraging thing is, especially coming out of last year, is you understand that switching coaches doesn't mean you just have to ride out the string, that you can play really good football, that you can win games, that you can have a lot of fun, and you can be really successful. So certainly there have been teams, just even with recent memory, that have done that really well. I think back to the Vegas Raiders with Rich Bisaccia, who was also special teams coach, kind of took on his personality, and they played really well and made a playoff run. I think there's other examples, and I can't come off the top of my head, where it's not gone that way. So there's nothing guaranteed. But I think what we learned last year was there's certainly hope, and certainly makes for these last 6 games to be an opportunity for a lot of individual and team success.
Yeah, we were here whenever we found out, kind of when it broke and everything, and had a team meeting immediately following. It's unfortunate. We all play a part in that. We didn't perform well enough. And unfortunately, part of this business is a performance-based business. So, you got to respect Mr. Tepper for doing that and making the right decision for the team. A lot of faith in Tepper, and know that he has nothing but the best interest for us in this organization and this city. So, excited about the opportunity going forward. We're kind of hitting the reset button and just restarting and just starting to roll. So,
in this instance, it can go kind of one of two ways, right? Things can kind of fall apart, and guys can kind of gel together. What's your role in kind of making sure everything stays there?
Yeah, makes you just try to be the glue. We'll all just try to pull together, try to continue to work. It's about us. We got to just lean on each other. We got to make sure that everything's working right, operating right. Give the coaches that are here the opportunity to showcase what they coach and what they do and how they call things, and just go and execute.
Frank was such a big piece of this offense, but Thomas is still here to be able to have some of that continuity.
It's huge. TB, he's a grinder. He gets in here every single day. He always brings the juice. He always brings the motivation. He keeps it real. I've said that from the beginning. That's the first thing I've noticed about him is he keeps everything real and keeps everybody on their toes and making sure that they know what they need to do. So I'm excited about the opportunity going forward. We're just going to do nothing but look forward. We're going to be optimistic, and we're just going to try to get some wins.
The word everyone kept saying today was it felt normal. It felt like a normal day of practice. But was there anything that didn't feel? It felt a little different.
No, just go out there and execute. We're trying to get wins here. That's our biggest thing. We want to get some wins. We want to have a good record going by the end of this thing. We've got 6 games to prove what we can do, and we plan on going and try to prove what we can do.
Chris talked about Bryce playing looser. And I think to a certain extent with some of, I don't know, is there any pressure that's off that allows you to just, hey, let's just go get it. Let's just get after it.
Yeah, I mean, all of our chips are on the table. You know, we're going after it. There's nothing to lose. Your back's kind of against the wall. You know, we're going for it. So that's our biggest thing.
Do you feel like Frank lost the locker room over here?
I wouldn't say that. You know, I wouldn't say that. You know, Coach Reich, he's did everything in his power to make sure that we were trying to win football games. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But, you know, I think guys really respected him. Guys still respect him. You know, like I said earlier, unfortunately, this is a performance-based business, and we just weren't able to perform enough for him to be able to continue to have the opportunity. So yeah.
Do you think Frank failed the offense, and in particular Bryce Young?
Again, I wouldn't say that. You know, he put his best foot forward. I think he did everything in his power to make us successful, and unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Just a battle. I mean, another year in the NFL. You know, obviously, when you go into every season, you know, the goal is to win as many games as possible, to win a Super Bowl, to achieve all your goals and dreams with your team. Everything goes the way it's planned always, of course. So just about, you know, always shaking back every week, making the most of it, and getting better. So just tell myself since week one, get better, focus on winning, and that's been the plan. So.
It's only been one day, but what have you learned about your new head coach?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around Taves since my second year, so I've been around him since I've been here. You know, he's a great guy, a fiery guy. You know, preaches hard work, fundamentals, and you know, he always jokes about it. You know, if we don't get something right, we're gonna try harder, and I always like that about him. So definitely glad to have him lead the charge.
How tough is this to do this now 2 years in a row?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie and act like it's easy. It's definitely tough, but this will come to being a professional, especially in the NFL. Sometimes stuff happens quick, bullets fly, but you know we still got a game to win this week, so that's what my focus is.
When a coach gets dismissed, and you've gone through this now twice, do you guys take it personally as players? I mean, this guy was here, we're not winning, and now he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I appreciate Frank a lot. He was a great coach. You know, sorry we couldn't get it done with him, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's on all of us at the end of the day. We got to start playing better football. We got to get things going here, and I'm gonna try to do my best to, you know, get that thing going.